Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. My name is Steve. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a new submarine that the UK is building that is supposedly totally different from any other sub on Earth. Now, this is a topic I really don't have a lot of experience with. I've never really learned about submarines in any sort of in-depth way. So in general, I don't know a ton about submarines, but I definitely find this type of topic fascinating. I wanted to check this video out specifically because it said this sub is going to be totally different from any other sub on Earth. And I saw the description, and the description said this will be the most stealthy submarine ever built in the world. And so I thought that sounded very interesting, and I just thought this would be an interesting video to check out. So this submarine is called the Dreadnought. But yeah, guys, don't really have anything to add to the beginning of this video. Like I said, I really don't know a ton about subs, but I think this will be very fascinating. So let's go ahead and dive in and check out this new submarine that the UK is building called Dreadnought. Wow. This thing looks massive. Look how large this thing is compared to the people that are standing here. Are subs always this large, or is that something that's also unique about this specific sub, is that it's going to be massive? I mean, we are looking at the sub itself right here, right? I think that's what that is. Wow. That is insanely huge. Yeah, this has got to be the sub, man. Are they always this large? Seriously, man. I mean, I've seen some subs on different videos or whatnot before, but really never paid that much of attention to them. I did see that was like it wasn't a military sub, but like a commercial sub that, the Titanic sub that imploded. That was probably one of the first subs that I kind of, really looked into quite a bit, and it was pretty small. Obviously, it wasn't a military sub, so I know it wasn't going to be nearly as large as a military sub, but this is just much larger than I expected it to be. Wow. I mean, wow. Okay. I mean, here's a van, dude. Compared that to this, that's crazy. All right.
The new Royal Navy Dreadnought Class Submarine, which is currently under construction, has innovative features that promise to take stealth to a whole new level. The Dreadnought is a massive undertaking for UK industry, and there is no doubt that it will be a huge win for the UK over the next few decades. The Dreadnought Submarine will be the most stealthy and largest ever built for Royal Navy.
So the most stealthy and largest ever built for the Royal Navy. So this isn't the largest in the world. Like I said, I don't know a ton about, submarine sizes and things like that, but this looks massive to me. I mean, this obviously can't be the sub, right? Because they're still building it. So this is a different sub we're looking at. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you know a lot about subs. What sub is this? If you have any idea. I don't know. Maybe you can't tell because it doesn't really have any flags or anything on it, but this is interesting. It's definitely a topic I'd like to look more into because it just fascinates me how people can go inside these subs to such great depth under the water and stay hidden and stay under there for quite some time. I'm not really sure how long you can be under the water and live in one of these things.
HMS Dreadnought and HMS Valiant, the first two ships, are already under construction. The Dreadnought is destined to take over Britain's nuclear deterrent in the 2030s. These new classes will be larger in order to include a number of new stealth features.
Approximate length of 3 Olympic swimming pools. Wow. How many sailors are going to be staying in one of these subs at one time? I have no idea. 153 meters. Wow. I have no idea how that compares to other subs, but that seems massive to me.
Battleship namesake, the new submarines will feature cutting-edge naval propulsion design, incredible firepower, and several features that will set it apart even from other modern submarines.
That is insane.
They will be armed with Trident D5 missiles, which is enough firepower to potentially destroy any major city and most of the surrounding area in a 7-mile radius. This is a fearsome amount of firepower per submarine, especially when you then multiply that by up to 4 Dreadnought class subs, which could be on patrol at any time.
Oh wow.
In other words, one Dreadnought submarine could potentially destroy most of continental China, a lethal weapon of mass destruction.
Oh wow. And it's just hidden under the water like that.
Will have 4 533mm torpedo tubes for Spearfish medium-range heavyweight torpedoes. The Spearfish can hit targets up to 65 kilometers away. These torpedoes were specifically designed to intercept high-speed, deep-diving enemy submarines with titanium hulls, such as the Alpha and Sierra classes.
That's insane, dude.
The Dreadnought class is being constructed at a special time in history. For the first time, 3 major Allied countries are designing and building their next generation of nuclear ballistic missile submarines at the same time. The United States has the Columbia class, the United Kingdom has the Dreadnought class, and France has the SNLE-3G. This fortuitous event is allowing the United States, the United Kingdom, and France to actively share mutually beneficial components, thereby improving future naval relations and efficiencies.
I mean, that makes sense. All 3 are allies, so...
The Dreadnought is mid-sized of the 3 submarines, measuring 153.6 meters long and 12.8 meters wide, with 12 Trident missiles and a crew of 130. Compare that to the larger Columbia class sub, which is 171 meters long, 13 meters wide, and equipped with 16 Trident missiles and a crew of 155.
I guess that answers my question. Wow, so this isn't even the largest that's being built. Wow. Like I said, I don't know much of anything at all about subs, especially military subs, and but this is fascinating. It's fascinating. All this engineering type stuff is fascinating to think that humans build things that people can go underwater to great depths and stay under for extended periods of time, and could literally, with these subs, they could literally fire off missiles to, like you said, I mean, they could destroy continental China. Like, how insane is that? Wow. That's just amazing to me. I can't even explain how wow that is. I don't even know how to express how insane that is. It's just wild, man.
The French SNLE-3G is the smallest of the 3, measuring 148 meters long and 12.5 meters wide.
Man, that's huge.
And carrying 16 Trident missiles.
I just can't imagine subs being these sizes.
People.
I mean, they're like small towns under the ocean.
Was primarily designed by BAE Systems in collaboration with Rolls-Royce and the SDA as part of the Dreadnought Alliance. The submarine is being built at the BAE Barrow in Furness Shipyard in northwest England, with nuclear propulsion systems being built by Rolls-Royce Submarine Division in Derby.
Wait, Rolls-Royce has a submarine division? For some reason, I don't know how I've heard of that before. Like, Rolls-Royce with submarines. I mean, does Rolls-Royce have something to do with most submarine builds, or is it just the UK? Because I know I associate Rolls-Royce with submarines for some reason, and I don't know why, even before hearing it said on this video.
The Dreadnought class will use an X-form rudder system for greater control, a quieter turbo-electric drive, and a pump-jet propulsor for improved power with a lower acoustic signature, similar to the US Columbia class and the French.
Wow. That is wild. So what is the square footage on the sub going to be? You know, I keep on saying it, but I don't know a lot about subs, as you can probably tell. But it's fascinating to me, and I'm just curious. You got, what they say, 135 sailors on board the submarine, or max amount of sailors on board the submarine. And so, like, what is the square footage they're working with? I mean, obviously, I could figure that out with a calculator, but I'm just curious if someone has it.
French SNLE-3G. The new PWR-3 pressurized water reactor, based on a US design but using UK reactor technology, powers the Dreadnought. Its simpler design necessitates fewer coolant pumps, making it much quieter.
13,000 electrical items. More than 20.
Dreadnought,
I can't read what that
unlike
says.
the other two submarines,
Something
has
on
a
board.
relatively elongated and streamlined sail in the front third of the sub, as well as bow planes, rather than sail planes. These bow planes will most likely be retractable for high-speed maneuvering or when surfaced. The Dreadnought is used whale-inspired design to achieve better performance.
I started saying that's what it looks like to me. It kind of reminds me of a whale a little bit.
One of the most intriguing aspects of the Dreadnought class submarines will be their distinct take on the double hull design. Modern submarines in the United States, including the new Columbia class, have a single hull design and a distinctive cylindrical shape with a rounded front.
That looks like a whale too.
Other submarines, such as those built by Russia and China, have two hulls. However, unlike the Russian double hull design, the outer hull of the Dreadnought is much lighter and not designed for strength. In addition, unlike other double-hulled submarines, the reinforcing frames will be located on the inside of the inner hull, as they are in the single-hulled Columbia. The Dreadnought class submarine appears to primarily use its double hull for a new reason, namely stealth.
The largest submarines
The
ever built.
UK Ministry of
Royal
Defence stated that the next 3 boats would also be given names with historical significance. The names of the ships will be HMS Dreadnought, HMS Valiant, HMS Warspite, and HMS King George IV. As of 2018, the Ministry of Defense anticipates that the first submarine will enter service in the early 2030s, with the Columbia class scheduled to enter service in 2031, and the French SNLE-3G around 2035.
It takes a while to build these, I'm guessing, like years.
Dreadnought, like the most stealthy existing submarines, will include mechanisms to protect against electromagnetic detection and tracking. To improve visual stealth when near the surface, the outer surface will be a different color than in previous versions. For many years, and in some other leading navies still today, the main focus for making submarines stealthy was to make the propulsion quieter. In this regard, Royal Navy ships are already considered very quiet.
Oxygen.
The Dreadnought.
It manufactures its own oxygen and fresh water? Wow. That makes me think that this submarine is going to be able to stay underwater and be out on missions for much longer than your current subs. Is that accurate? I mean, if they can manufacture their own oxygen and water, you would just assume that would be the case.
On the other hand, will feature a new turbo-electric drive.
So they're more quiet, which makes them more stealthy.
The main defense of a submarine is its stealth. Speed, depth, and countermeasures can all help a submarine escape, but the best way to survive is to not be seen in the first place. As a result, it is unsurprising that submarines being built today will be more stealthy than those already in service.
I mean, that makes sense. Modern gym facilities for the crew include exercise bikes, rowers, weight benches, a running machine, and cross trainer. For the first time in a Royal Navy submarine, there will be a classroom study area set aside. Wow. The doctor works from a designated sick bay, conducting routine checkups, dispensing medicines, and could care for a major casualty if required. Wow. That was so fascinating, guys. I mean, it really is like, this is going to be like a small town under the water. Now, I'm curious. Obviously, it sounds like this, they're going to be able to be out on missions for much longer. They're going to be able to stay under the water for much longer than the current subs, right? Because they can produce their own oxygen and own water. And granted, I don't know if other submarines currently can do that, but that sounds like something that is probably very new on the newer subs. But so how long can they be out at a time for? Like, how long can they literally, they go under the water, they're gone, right? How long can they be down there for? Weeks? A month? How long? I have no idea. I'd love to know. I'm guessing probably longer than that. But this is something, like I said, guys, I'm just learning about. Don't know anything about subs other than really what I've learned here. But this is fascinating, guys. I'd like to look into subs a little bit more. There's just, I don't know how to explain why I find this type of thing so fascinating. This is the type of topic, just like architecture in a way, is something that I always like beautiful buildings, for example, but it wasn't until I started this journey that I really started realizing, wow, I love architecture. And it's the same thing with topics like this. Like, I've never looked into any submarines or anything like that before, but I never knew I would find it so fascinating. But it really is fascinating to me. It's almost like it's mysterious in a way. You have these, to me, there are these, they're basically these small towns that travel under the ocean. That's basically what they remind me of. And I just want to know more about how they work and what goes on inside them, how long they're gone for, how deep will these subs go, for example, and just all sorts of questions like that are in my head. Obviously, I'm going to look some of these questions up myself to find the answers. But if you have answers to these questions, I'd love to see what you have to say about them in the comment section. Definitely help me learn more about these, especially these newer subs like the Dreadnought class sub that is being built in the UK now. But yeah, guys, thought this was interesting. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow me in my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys, peace.